We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.
So we started walking into the place. We had walked in the night of the fire, and we saw it was all, there was 2 feet of water in the back of the shop, right where all that beautiful ink, all those inks that we had for years, we're starting to build up our ink shelf now. Mm-hmm. But we could just see back there 2 feet of water.
That was Mike Lynch, owner of Babylon Burning. I'm Jeff Hunt, and this is Storied San Francisco, a podcast celebrating the people and places that make this city so special. Welcome to part 3 of our mini-series on the new Babylon Burning. This episode picks up where part 2 left off, with the night of the Soma fire that effectively ended decades of screen printing at their Bluxom Street location. We talk about the aftermath of that December 2022 day and the incredible outpouring of help Mike and Judy and their crew got. This past May, I went to a party they threw at the new space, and it was one of those San Francisco is back moments that we're latching onto and engaging in ourselves. But on with the show. Here are Mike and Judy.
And then they just kept dousing it with water, but it was still super dangerous.
And this is on top of your shop?
So this is on top, yeah. So we're on the bottom floor, and this is above us.
And you were watching this happen?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were watching this.
And while I show up, and it's like,
yeah, so I'm also noticing
he's falling apart at this point.
They broke our window
Mike,
to the
yeah,
gallery, but they just gently pried it open because all these people are our friends.
Right.
Yes.
So this one guy who I just started doing Station 1, I think, they were the ones that are down on the water. Hope I get that right. They do their shirts are like the Misfits and
oh yes,
and it's Station 4 because they use Black Flag's bars as
the bars.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just met these guys, Tim and somebody else. They were like, "What do you need us to save? We're gonna get it right now." So they started going in. They know me. They're my friends. We had all the boxes that are finished. Farley's. Who did
you
I
mean
have?
of product?
Product that we had
Products
finished.
Okay.
Right? Like people that hadn't picked up yet. Farley's.
They were just picking
Tantrum,
up boxes
Tantrum.
for us.
We had Balboa shirts.
All the firemen.
Who did I make? I made some deliveries afterwards. There were 4 or 5 jobs, probably more than that. I go, well, they go, oh, will you guys finish jobs and line them up there? They went in. These guys went in, threw them up onto the tables in the gallery.
Okay.
They
and
saved about
hundreds of shirts.
Wow. Okay.
Hundreds of boxes.
I figured about 50 grand. 50
Yeah.
grand
Wow.
worth of merchandise, saved old merchandise and stuff that hasn't been checked in, that's been ordered and just sitting there.
Not even smoke damage?
Yeah, because they're throwing it in. Yeah, throwing
Amazing.
it in here.
There was no smoke in our unit. It was everything
all
was
water.
All water damage. At
All
that
water
point.
damage. So the fire did trickle in the back, in this back section where all these old garments were. So the fire did tickle, you can see where it's burnt up there. So they just buried everything. And which is sad because our gallery, the 10 years of having the gallery, we had that little room up there. And nobody seemed to take after the shows, they're like, oh, we'll just leave it at the gallery,
Right.
But,
say it, fucking artists.
So we had thousands of pieces, paintings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Everything, posters,
We're just hoping they would come and pick it up.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there for them to collect. But it was a collection of these interesting,
Well, I'm
great art.
jumping ahead, but I noticed the projector made it. Was it the projector that I gave
It was in
Clammy,
the gallery.
Was it there that night?
Yes, it's in the gallery.
But it's here now.
It's here now. It's right here.
Oh, no.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. We just used it the other night. Right.
But all the screens,
In the
Yeah,
back
so
of
they
the...
all the
save-
ink, all the machines.
So
Total. Done.
It's funny, like, having this for so long, right? The business. Judy and I are like, what are we really going to do with all these, like, you're talking about 30 years of, like, stuff. Mm-hmm. You know how many rejects and misprints and people that don't pick up and just whatever. So I'm like, one day we're going to have to deal with this. One day. Right. And
that's
like, what
how
are we going to do?
Mother Nature dealt
and that's
with
what,
it. Helped us deal with it.
So anything that was like textiles or paper is gone. So all the metal, anything that was like metal screens we could use, we got a lot of things out of there. We really did, because it wasn't, again, the fire, like Judy said, it wasn't the fire that like came into our shop. It was all water damage. So then you times that by like a month of just sitting like a tomb.
Right.
And now we have all mold.
And remember, there was a huge rain.
In the winter,
there was a lot
too.
of rain that December.
So much rain.
Not
and
good
every
for
time
mold.
it rained, I would think, oh, there's the shop becoming a swimming pool. It's a swampland there.
I just said not good for mold. Good for mold.
Good for mold.
If you're
Great for
mold,
mold.
it's wonderful.
Oh.
But this is where like the important stuff happens. So the fire department helps. Huge help. And again, we're like, Judy shows up to the
he was
place.
He was in another planet.
I'm running up and down. I'm talking I'm like,
lost it, like, from the core.
Okay, so it's Saturday. Could we get back in Monday and like clean stuff? And then I had talked to Seth. Seth came down and he was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
But he was still kind of keeping hopes too. He's like, no, it's not going to be that bad, and I'm like, I think it is, and then he went off, he was kind of in disbelief, and then so Judy and I
was
stuck it.
triggered.
So we were there for about. I
was triggered. I was ready to
so
just.
we were there for about 4 hours.
For him.
We called our friends,
Adam
and Jamie.
They told us to go home.
And we went home. And
it was 4 o'clock in the morning. We went home. That was 2 hours in with all this.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the longest hours. Like we were there for
we actually did
all
go
day,
home
like,
and sleep.
Surreal.
We slept
Y'all
said it
another
already.
2 hours.
So freaky, so surreal.
Yeah.
So then we headed down.
And I would guess anxiety making of like, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
That's where
it's funny.
I had to push. I had the feeling of let's push forward now.
Oh yeah, we're
because
also forgetting,
I was not going to let this fire define us.
Yeah.
We're going to push forward and like start.
She was looking at her phone at places that night of the fire.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
She was like,
damn.
Yeah.
I was like, not
keep her around. You need someone like that in situations like that,
Yeah. She knew. She just knew. We knew. We just knew that it wasn't.
I'm not going to let this take us down.
Yeah.
I was going to fight for this one. Like,
we also
push
don't
forward
know.
Positively.
Yeah.
And
we also didn't know, like, like we'd never been in this situation before either. Right. So we're like, so then when we headed back down after a couple hours of sleep, we met Jamie and Adam down there, and they, we're both
raining that morning.
It was raining. We're meeting people that are like, they're calling them ambulance chasers that are passing out their cards and saying, you should call us.
Right.
But they ended up being great. They ended up helping us so much. Yeah, because our insurance agent was an asshole. And when I called him Sunday morning saying, hey, he's like, I'm in North Carolina. I don't know what it is. Yeah, you're a broker who I don't really know. Just, email me your thing. What does it say? You have $200,000. All right. You want me to just write you a check and you're saying that everything's lost? I'll just send it to you. And then I'm like, wait, I don't know. I'm insured. He's like, I'm being honest with you. I just sat down for football. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, we were.
This is not the right guy, right?
Yeah.
So then I started talking to that guy when we came back down, and he was great. He was like, we just actually
a local guy.
No, well, he was a local guy. Yeah. All these people that are brokers, right? They used to work for the insurance company, and then this guy, his name was Reno. He had a connection with Boston. He knows all the old Boston bands, not rock bands of the late 70s, and that's your
he
day.
was a fire victim himself. That's how he got into the whole game.
Some empathy helps.
Yes, empathy for sure.
Connection though with bands in Boston, and then he's definitely he was talking so much, and so many technical terms.
I liked him from the start.
Yeah, we did too, and then it ended up being a great thing.
So this is Saturday morning. While they show up with a U-Haul and help
Two
us.
U-Hauls.
Two U-Hauls.
And this is just for folks listening. This is Adam Bergeron and his wife Jamie.
His wife Jamie. Yeah.
Got it.
Wife Jamie. Yeah.
Got it.
And Jamie's picking up these
they
boxes.
own the Balboa and the new laundromat. They met us there. They knew that we were in a state of shock. Yeah, they knew.
No. I remember we woke up. They woke us up and with a phone call and we tell them about the fire and Jamie's like, "Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'll meet you down there."
We'll meet you down there.
We're like, wait, what? You're gonna meet us down there? I'm not ready to go down there yet. But she got us out of bed, gave us the little nudge, and said, "Okay, we got this." You know.
So we started walking into the place. We had walked in the night of the fire, and we saw it was all. There was 2 feet of water in the back of the shop, right where all that beautiful ink, all those inks that we had for years, which we're starting to build up our ink shelf now. But we could just see back there 2 feet, 2 feet of water.
Get your galoshes.
So we're like, we got our galoshes.
Exactly.
But we could see, Adam's like, you got to grab the stuff off the wall.
Yes.
Jamie's like, you got to get up into your office because here's the great thing: the office stuff, all our kids' art, right? All Seth's stuff in the art department.
Stuff you can't replace.
Stuff you can't replace. He has his grandfather's photo up there, or whatever. He had a painting or this poster his grandfather had, and everyone else. Amazing. All the guys that work for me all have personal stuff there. They lost a lot of shit too, right? Yeah. So that Jamie and Adam could see, get that stuff.
We were in shock.
We're in shock.
They had
still in shock.
Get that stuff.
They had clear heads.
They brought 2 U-Hauls
and helped.
And 2 U-Hauls, and Jamie was calling around for a storage unit.
Yeah, and found one, which is very hard to do in the city.
South San Francisco.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And we just started hauling shit.
Everything out. And that's the rhythm that happened. It was like we were on a push mode,
pouring rain.
Just pushing forward. And
pouring rain.
Pouring rain. The little Jamie holding wet boxes, hundreds of boxes. I'm like, Jamie, don't.
We filled 2 giant U-Hauls full of stuff.
Yeah.
Had it all out there, and there was a lot of water damage, and we're like, fuck, this stuff's lost. But we didn't know that we could save a lot. Even the sign, the historical sign that just actually went back up in our shop.
Oh, nice.
Inside our shop.
I'll get a photo for sure.
Yeah, get a photo.
Sure.
Our historical sign that was made in '81 was saved. We took that. We knew that was coming with us. Right. We had that in the storage unit. Wow! And then that Sunday after we got done. I have to say
something. It's so devastating what we went through, but it was almost like the universe telling us, well, we're going to give you some shit. How are you going to handle this?
Like a test.
It's like a test.
Yeah.
And
they gave us COVID first, and it definitely was a good practice, a good run up to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Believing ourselves, working hard.
Yeah.
That really helped us move forward.
So then it goes to, the whole story of the fire and what happened afterwards all goes back to people helping us.
Yeah.
Right? The Bergerons, and then
the firemen.
And then meanwhile, I have 10 employees calling us on Sunday going, what are we doing?
What are we going to do?
Yeah. Right. So it took where Judy's looking. Judy's looking. Come Monday morning.
We say, bring your computer back home, Seth. Once he brought the computer, it was like he was able to navigate the clientele, and then
so we started working.
We started working
Monday. I think that Monday we started working.
After the fire.
Yeah.
And I had 3 warehouses booked already by then.
Yeah. And she was opening places. Seth had set up a home computer, and then I was going in, meeting the guys. They were all meeting at the shop. So fucking surreal, right?
Yeah.
We're meeting at the shop. We're pulling stuff out, and then we're I get a call from an old employee who is our artist. His name is Mike Law. He has a screen printing shop called Against the Grain, and he's like, I have a little garage space if you guys want to set up and do work there.
Awesome.
So that's where it all started, like
The rhythm.
it started
going
like
back into Babylon mode.
I was making deliveries to clients of the shit that the firefighter saved.
Yeah.
Judy's on the other end, looking with a broker, going and looking
for new spaces.
Seth is running shit from his apartment, in his Tenderloin apartment.
He's working from home.
He's working from home. Look at the equipment over here. You see it all.
Yeah.
All this is in his little Tenderloin apartment.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. But it's more like, it really isn't like Judy and I working really hard
It's a
with a
team.
broker to get that, right? That is really one aspect of it. It really isn't like this was the most important thing, or Seth working at home, or the guys working. It was really like all those things is what made it happen.
Like a living organism almost.
Yes.
Of a bunch of people getting it going.
I was somebody said to me, you're acting a little manic, right? It kind of made me feel like I had to be, right? Like I kind of don't know what else to do. I mean, that's what I do. And I also felt this like obligation, like we have hundreds of clients.
Yeah.
So now the kids of 826 aren't going to get their stuff, right? Kids from Blackwood Codes.
Everett, it's a high school.
Yeah,
You
Blackwood
printed-
Code. Who is another one like that? These people aren't going to get their stuff. We're just going to like fold up. It can't
But
happen.
so the
But
community
the best thing,
answered us, right?
Community
When we-
helped, right? That's when they helped with the GoFund. But it was first our guys, right? Like us all coming together, and we basically were
Functioning.
Babylon burning mobily.
Yes.
I was ordering shirts in the van to my vendors, going
Amazing.
drop them off at this guy's
Mobile.
warehouse.
Mobile.
Love it.
Drop it off at his garage. Then I reached out to another friend of ours, he reached out to me,
Yeah.
Chris from DCL, Chris Long. He said, I have a little warehouse space between his screen printing shop and his embroidery shop, and he goes, you guys can just set up in there and print.
So
And
you
we-
had like multiple offers.
this-
So we had, with multiple
Keep the
office.
ship rolling.
Then with Jamie and Adam on
Saturday night.
maybe no.
It was Saturday night, honey.
No, I think it was the following weekend. We went into the laundromat. They had just opened up the laundromat, and we need to start a GoFund. People keep calling and say, "Where are we going to?"
No,
and
it
then we
wasn't, honey. It was after we boxed everything in Burlingame in the U-Haul place. Afterwards, we
Okay.
went to
Okay.
laundromat in the evening.
Okay.
And they were going to serve us dinner because
Okay.
we were in
Yeah.
shock.
So that's where we
And
started. So we started
there.
So that Saturday night after we moved everything. That Saturday morning after we moved everything into the warehouse. That Saturday night we went to the laundromat.
Yes.
You could already tell people that saw us, that knew us, like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, the look on their faces, we knew it too, we're like,
Yeah.
we're like, it was so emotional. But we knew that we
It
had to
was
get
sad.
down
It was
there. It was
very
so sad. We knew we had to get down there and start this GoFund thing because people were like, where can we, on Instagram, they're like, what do we do? How do we help? And it wasn't just 10 people, right? It was like, I'm getting text after text after text. So we go with Jamie and Adam and write this really great. They help us write this great thing. I remember we asked for like, what should we ask for? We're like,
how? Where? We've never been through
like
this.
putting a volume, a number to it. We're
fire.
like,
I
so
mean-
we came up with a number, and then it's funny. It's like it really felt like what we did for people in COVID, all our clients, all the people that we helped, just were waiting for this moment.
Like the karma to come around.
Came around, right? It just took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, I think we asked for $200,000, and I think the first,
By
2
Sunday
days.
morning, it was $30,000.
well, it was more. It was like 50.
Was
right?
it?
Yeah, it kept climbing. We're like at
I thought it was
75,000. We're like,
that
what?
Sunday morning.
Did
And
you
I
have to like turn off notifications? You're like,
No, we were like,
it was
and it just kept snowballing, right? People
Yes.
kept sharing it, and then we're just like,
And
so
we
it was
didn't
like
ask
8.
for it, but it was very shocking how that all happened.
yeah, the
Yeah.
generosity.
And it's just
The
the
generosity.
generosity and the love that was pouring in through the support. It
So
just-
I want to hear maybe from you first, because we talked about you were the one looking for looking for new permanent space, because y'all have talked about how like the offers were coming in and you were doing mobile and blah blah blah.
Well,
But,
he
like-
was doing that. I was already talking to Garrett Mills, the broker that I found.
Okay.
And I had a vision. I had felt like, this could be something that be bigger and better for the community.
Was it important to you to get something with a space for a gallery again?
Yes.
Like
For
front
the
of my
front, that
Yeah.
was in the equation
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because not for just having a gallery and being cool or whatever, but it's more for the community of San Francisco
Yeah.
and showing our love and our support to artists and just people that want to get a chance in life, and show their art or themselves in a performance and poetry. And that kindness and generosity, we always share that platform.
That's
for
community,
everyone.
right?
Mm-hmm. So that was pushing me.
So you tell us about finding this.
Well,
place
there's three. So
that we're in.
Judy and I went and
We will
looked.
look
Judy
at-
got a list. She got a
Yes.
list of like 12 places. The guy, when somebody told me that I was manic, Judy was going crazy, right? She was like, she had a whole list. She had met this broker, as you mentioned, Garrett. I think that he's kind of new to it,
Yeah,
right?
he was young and new to
I think he
the-
liked Judy's energy.
Yeah.
Because
'Cause-
Judy's like, she's just so
The
Chinatown.
coding.
Right?
and-
She's so
yeah,
Chinatown. She's like, don't show me that shit. I don't need to see that stuff.
Yeah.
We need this.
We
This is
don't
what
need the fluff.
We don't need.
We need a place that's big enough and powerful enough for the machines.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's talked to him like that.
Yeah,
you know?
and the
but I think
code.
he liked it. He liked it, and he was.
He was
and-
learning
You're gonna
as he
work in
was
San
going, too.
Francisco.
But the
you
thing
need
is, then
to
we
go-
took him down to
Yeah.
Babylon, and then I think he saw what was happening.
Right.
He's like, holy shit. You guys are a legacy business. This is a kind of big deal. I think he saw like, wow, I just stepped into something that's like kind of big deal. So they got a list of like 10 places, but the whole thing is like we were kind of feeling positive about it because commercial real estate, right? Commercial real estate has gone down, and we're like, well, we're feeling good. But then
But that's
we
not the
started-
case.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because there's a specific type of warehouse we had to look for, which
Right.
was like
Yeah.
3-phase. It had to be powerful and spacious enough to hold the machinery. And the zoning. The zoning codes are very tricky. And some places wanted just retail and said that it was a warehouse, but then when you get there, it's zoned for retail. So
yeah.
oh
my God, we ran into so
It
much
was a tricky
bullshit.
one.
How important was it to stay in South of Market?
Very.
Yeah, very.
Like that, like no question.
Yeah,
kind of thing?
no
I
You
tried
only
to venture
Yeah.
him out to like Bayshore, and we looked at
Oh my
Pier
God.
70, that
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a
industrial
whole-
space
yeah,
over
yeah.
there where
yeah,
they
the guy's
built
like,
the
the guy was great.
ships
Right.
yards.
Yeah, the guy was
you
great.
know?
He's like, okay, no advertising. No, you can't have any
Yeah,
no sign.
it was
no
on a
nothing.
second
We're like, oh,
floor
great.
warehouse with 3,400 square footage, but the elevator was not like an industrial
Oh, just
elevator.
like a passenger
regular-
elevator?
No, but it was
Yeah,
cool.
we
They
could get all
made
the
it
boxes
look
up there.
like an industrial place, but it
Yeah.
was like, it basically could have been a cubicle and like no, don't put anything on the walls. We're like so un-Babylon, right?
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not it.
Okay.
Then we looked at a place on 12th Street. One that we
The
got excited
zoning.
about was the 12th and Market. Right behind the Toyota Center. Toyota,
The
old
Deco-
Toyota.
Oh,
No,
the old
Deco
film,
Ghetto.
That's the old Fillmore, right?
Was
No,
that?
it's on 12th and
Yeah, the
Market.
Deco Ghetto is that
No, remember the
neighborhood.
Honda dealership that was right there on the corner?
Yeah, that's the old Fillmore East or West
That is-
or whatever.
Oh,
Was
really?
it?
That
I
was
didn't
Fillmore
know.
West.
Wow.
Because there's Fillmore, then they opened one in like New York or
Right.
Boston or something. That was
Right.
Fillmore East, and then they're like, we want a second one in San Francisco.
Oh, that's where it
It was
was?
Fillmore West.
When
yeah.
was that?
I didn't know that.
Way before my time.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well,
I
anyways,
used to
it
have
was-
a Honda, and I'd go there, and I was like, and then someone told me that story. I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
I didn't know
what's
that
up?
either.
And now it's like a fucking virtual museum or something.
Yeah.
now.
Yes,
They've had
and
a
that
couple of shows
passed
in
when
there.
we showed. It's
But-
no longer there, and
Yeah,
but the
right.
space was incredible.
So
It
yeah,
was-
the 12th and Market
But
one, we liked it.
it was
we
zoned
kind of got
different.
excited. We had some like, it started seeming like Babylon. It was like brick, open space.
high ceilings.
Just different, but like brick but then it had parking spaces like two.
Oh.
And then so we're like, this is looking good. And then we're like, where's the gas? And the broker's like, yeah, it doesn't have gas. But you can get it. You can get gas put in, I'm sure. And we're like,
and that registered in my mind.
Yeah,
like,
that was
that's
like,
going to take
oh, yeah.
forever in the city
forever.
because just this is
so then we start.
permits and
So we don't get
licensing.
any help from downtown.
Yeah.
No help, except from the San Francisco legacy business. You know, they are the guy Rick down there at the legacy business. He does more for us than anyone down at City Hall.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
he's amazing. And so he knew a person. So that's like, it was kind of like our in. He knew a person that knew stuff about small businesses, or the Small Business Association people. No help, zero help. Not only not helpful, kind of hurtful. You know, like, oh yeah, oh we see that building, we know that building. Oh, okay, so you want to? Oh, you're a screen printing shop. Okay, so those parking spaces out front, those will go away. You need access for blah blah blah. It's really only so you can only have. It's only zoned for 20% industrial and then 80% retail.
Right.
So we're like, well,
You kind of need the opposite of that.
but
right?
and then she's like, and then, well, let me know if you need me to look at any other buildings. So we're like, okay, we're never going to talk to them again. We're going to just do this on our own. And
we did it on our own, and
then we did it on our own.
realized that there weren't any help, and we were just
meanwhile-
going in circles. Well, rent is due. You know, the
Yeah.
people need to be paid. Kids need to be, taken care of, and the families of Babylon are,
So now we're
waiting
starting
on
to
us.
get into the rhythm of working. So now we're working kind of full time at DCL, part time at Mike's place in his garage, but we're starting to get a rhythm going. And now Chris at DCL is letting me use his equipment. I'm starting to do bigger jobs on his automatic.
Okay.
Well, we were still searching.
While we're just doing other
for a
things.
new
Seth at
warehouse.
home, guys still coming in. We're working kind of half days, but still we're getting stuff done. And things are still happening. It was the third week.
Third week, yeah.
Right.
Third week after the fire?
Third week after the fire.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So Judy and I, before we brought Seth, right, we were going and looking at places. So many depressing ones.
Yeah,
too.
we were
like out on
losing-
3rd Street, the one that Judy had mentioned out at the industrial one.
1015 Folsom. We looked at that one, or
1015?
1012.
When I went,
No, Folsom and right next to Paradise Lounge.
right near by the Oasis,
it was
the
too
new
small.
Oasis, right?
And
But the one that out on 3rd Street, it was the old balloon lady thing. It was just a big empty tin warehouse.
Right.
Got me fucking depressed.
Depressed.
It really put me. I'm like,
when
are
the
we
cars
really
going
gonna-
by, the walls would shake,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Can we? No,
So
we can't."
went. So we went. We got excited about 12th Street. So we were kind of telling Seth about it, and then we came and saw this place, and we met
This
with
is the
another
last
broker.
resort, I think.
Well, we met
Remember?
with another
When we
broker.
were
We
like,
really liked it, but we actually thought it was too big. Right? We thought it was too big. And there was something about it. There was so much clutter in here because there was an old. The guy, the
Furniture.
owner of this building, which he owns multiple ones. The construction guys or the contractors that work for all these buildings just store their shit here. So we're like, we couldn't see it, but we did notice right away. We're like, it does have the entry
for the
like, kind of
gallery.
gallery. We even, the minute we walked in, then it had a middle room where you're like, we had already started playing it, and then when you walk out, we're like, oh, that
Like
could
production.
be an industrial shop. So after we got Seth excited about 12th Street, we're like, you should come with us because we got 3 other places we want to look at, and then we're going to show you this one that we had already visited. Now at this point, Seth had really come around. He was having a hard time with the fire. Everyone
Had their
dealt
own-
with it differently,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And Seth was kind of shutting down. Once we got him excited. We were excited about 12th Street. He just started seeing like maybe the possibilities, and he also saw that we weren't giving up. We were fucking going for it.
Right.
We were going for it. We're
Yeah.
like, let's get this. We got so much support behind us. We're gonna,
by then
we're gonna let everyone down.
GoFund was-
700 people
Yeah.
that donated to us.
Yeah.
We have an obligation to
To
kick
do
ass
this for the city
Yeah.
and our
Should
friends
we,
and businesses, and
yeah.
it just was a very positive feeling at that point. Like,
Yeah.
we can do this now. We can. Mike's working and I'm working, looking at new places. Though the beginning was like petrifying, like scary.
Yeah, totally.
But now it's coming to a light.
It's like the wilderness, you know?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're forced into the wilderness, and then you see a light or you see a way out. And
So the final straw, how we got this place, was we picked up Seth. Seth was like, he was excited about the 12th Street one. He's like, can I come with you guys? Can I look at it? And he has stepped in to become like a really important part of this company. You know, he's like one of the leaders here that I really trust. And he,
I wanted to see his reaction.
yeah, we were
So,
excited about
to
him
see
because he's
his
like, he's doing
reaction.
everything right behind the scenes. Seth is really behind the scenes. So he's like, I want to come with you. I don't think we went to 12th Street because we had got shot down, right? I don't think we went. I think you and I visited. Seth didn't go.
It was too small.
Yeah.
We didn't
So
want
anyways,
to waste
we went
time.
to visit 3 more places, the ones that we talked about prior, all depressing. And then we're like, Seth, we want to show you this one. And we come in here, we come in the front door, and already he's like, what? This is like the gallery spot, right? And like, so now I'm starting to get excited,
'cause
right?
we
Judy's
used to-
starting to get excited too. And then he goes into the middle room, and you can see it. This building is laid out for us. It's pretty amazing, right? So this is great. You know, he's like, this is amazing. And then he peeks his head in the back and he's like, that's where production is. And we're like, that's it.
He just
Yes.
saw it.
He
He
saw
saw it
it.
all together.
He saw it. We have
Our
pictures of
vision.
that day. And he saw it. He's like, this is kind of a fucking no-brainer.
This is it.
And then we came upstairs.
Where we are
We
now.
are right
Yes.
now to this office with windows and ventilation and
trees,
trees
lights.
and
On the
sunlight.
sunny side of town.
Right. In the heart of the Soma, right? We are, I think that Babylon on Bluxom Street was starting to become like
China
a
Basin,
Mission Bay,
Mission Bay,
right?
yeah.
Avery, one of the guys here, said, you know, it is. It's starting to like, it's not real Soma. The kid, Avery, grew up in Soma. This is Soma.
Wasn't
This
the
is-
original location 2nd and Howard?
It was.
So just
Well,
up
actually, the
the
original
street.
one was in the Mission on Valencia Street.
Oh, okay.
And then it moved to Second
So
and
just up the
Second and
street.
Bryant.
Yeah.
Then to Bluxom Street, and now here. We're in the thick of it. We are
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Soma, right? This is
Fifth is good,
Yes, you are.
and then we got the
There's
grit.
no denying
We
it.
got the
We
grit
have
on
the
the
grit.
6th. Yeah.
So you know what's funny?
Good
So
and gritty.
after seeing Seth be so excited about it, we were down.
Yeah.
We needed to see that. We needed to see that he saw what we saw. And then when he saw upstairs too, he's like, "This is amazing." So that's when we started. And
the
then we were like,
negotiating started happening then.
how did we started talk? We talked to the landlord. Had a great meeting with the landlord on Zoom. Saw that he had a Grateful Dead poster behind him, so I
Oh,
just
yeah.
started writing.
It's
I just
done.
started in like, just art, just poster printing. I could see,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
and then Adam's kind of a Grateful Dead guy, so I kind of know like, and I just know like that he's kind of, and he's like,
Local.
oh, once I showed some interest in it, it just went great. The brokers were there, Seth was there, we're all there, and then at the end of it, Garrett's like, did we all just become friends? Right? Because it was
Yeah.
that
So-
good.
Right.
And they want to
That's
support a
awesome.
legacy. Who doesn't want to support a legacy business?
Yeah.
He's a landlord. Let's just leave it at that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he saw that there's potential for his building to come alive again.
Yeah.
We kept saying it to him. We're like, hey, you don't
Get activated.
You don't
Yeah,
understand what
gonna
we're going to bring
in the
to this place.
community
Yeah.
here.
We're bringing
and
San Francisco and 800 people.
Remind me, speaking of, so when was that party?
Our party that we
Our
just had, the
opening?
bank party.
Yeah. What date? What was the date of that?
Um,
I mean, if none of us
I
can
don't
remember,
know.
that's cool. I was just curious. But also, was that that was your opening party?
That was
Yes.
that was our thank you party.
That was a thank you party.
That was a thank you party that
Okay.
we had been planning. No, well, Seth and I are upstairs in this new office, and we were sitting with each other, and
May 25th. it was.
so you know what? But real quickly, when the insurance money kicked in, that's when things changed too. So seeing the building was important, of course, getting the building. Now we got the building. We had a great meeting with the landlord, where it is not, oh, you signed the papers. It is back and forth with lawyers. Meanwhile, we're still trying to work. Insurance money is coming in. We're like, all right, we're breathing. We're like, this is so set up. Get this. We do. And we were like, we finally, Christmas time. At Christmas time. So we're talking 4 weeks later.
4 weeks later, we're in.
4 weeks later, we were signed, and we moved in here January 15th. The fire was on December 4th, and we were moved
That's like
in
6
here.
weeks.
Yeah, we were moved in here, and
But
all we were doing.
Operational before then, Mike. You were working out of the guys.
Right. We
shop.
went back to DCL, grabbed all that
DCL,
stuff, moved it into the warehouse, got great pictures of it. 2 hand presses in a little dryer, and
in this big space.
In a big space.
Just
and
enough.
then we have a press check with the San Francisco MoMA.
Yeah.
It's great.
Nice.
And they're like, and luckily she's our friend, and she's like supportive too, Toby, and she's like, this is great. And now so now it's just a matter of, we're signed, 10-year lease. We just got to start getting the equipment. We have a great contractor, Dreamt contractor, this guy Mello. He is a contractor and an artist.
Oh,
so
perfect.
and he's our friends. I've known him for years. He's helped us so many times at Babylon. And we just let them loose in here. We're just starting to get equipment in, and it's like a dream, you know?
But
this
we
building,
could have done all of this without the help of the community. The GoFund was huge.
The GoFund was a huge part of it.
It landed at like 100,000 after like a week.
Yeah,
and
it was
with that.
Yeah.
We that helped us stay focused and like
Yeah.
remember the people that helped us.
Yeah,
the
when we got to
community.
deposit that GoFund money, that was
was-
another thing, because of course insurance money doesn't. Oh, here comes the insurance money.
Forever.
That
It took
GoFund
forever.
money basically was like
A kick.
payroll and stuff, because insurance was paying payroll, but paying it whenever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it comes when it comes.
It helped with the
GoFund is a
deposit, first
direct-
and last month's rent.
Yeah, it just
and he wanted
helped
2 more extra months.
so much. Yeah,
So
it just helps so
it
much. The
helped
GoFund
so
thing was
much to
the
get
biggest
to
thing. So
this.
that's why after 100 days of being in here, we're like sitting here going, "Oh my God, this is insane." We're like fully operational after 100 days, and we're like, we have to have this party to thank everyone. So yeah, it was. Today is the 21st.
It is.
So it was like 3 weeks ago.
May 25th, you said.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's cool that I just realized? The show that we're doing in August over at Minibar on Divisadero, our theme for the show is rebirth. I just realized. I'm like, boom, rebirth.
Yes.
So,
I
super
really
cool.
feel that.
Do you have any more events coming up that we need to plug?
So, so after our thank you, so it was great having the thank you for all the
That was
people
a
that
really
helped us.
fun night, by the way.
Thank you.
So that was our first, like, let's try the space up. The space is awesome. It's even better than the
Better.
Bluxom Street one.
I
The
will attest to that,
Yeah,
100%.
the sound is great.
Yeah.
We set up a projection room
Yeah,
in the
there's gonna
middle
be-
room. We also were going to shut off the back because we're like, I don't know, people. It would just organically happen that people
Yeah.
wanted to walk through the shop.
Yeah.
And after you have put like $5,000 into the GoFund to help us, you know what? You get to do whatever you want. We were
Yeah.
letting people print their own shirts and
Yes.
take whatever they wanted, and they
That
wanted to,
evening
they
was
wanted
for
to go
San
back
Francisco.
out. They wanted to go back out and see the thing, and then we realized we're like, we should be letting them see what we've done and what they helped us achieve, you know. And so it was just a beautiful night. So the shop works. So the next thing is our daughter is putting on with a couple of her friends another AAPI show.
Okay.
There'll be music and art, and again, now that we have the screen printing shop in the middle of the gallery,
Yes,
it's like
we
in the
will do
middle of
live
the gallery,
silk screening at
live
times.
screen printing.
Amazing.
It's gonna be great.
That was such a cool thing.
And
to
then
see.
now we're putting together too, because the Stud is trying to raise money to reopen
new
their
location.
shop.
Yes.
So we're gonna have some bands and DJ and do a fundraiser for the Stud here, and we think we're
Okay.
gonna do that at the end of July.
Do y'all have
Yeah,
dates for either of these things, or
July-
just want people to
We
check
know-
out?
We know for sure July 29th
29th.
for the Stud, and for Ava's show,
It's on the 15th of July.
Okay.
Is the 15th of July. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But
So
also
look-
tell folks, or I should say some of them, remind how they can find you on social media.
BabylonT.com is our website, but Instagram is, what is it? Babylon Inc., I think.
Is
that
it?
what it
Babylon
is?
Burning Inc.
Oh, it's Babylon
Burning.
Burning. Yeah. We switched over the 63 Bluxom Street Gallery to Gallery 939, and that's going to be the new name of the gallery. 939 comes from, we're at 939 Howard Street.
Any closing thoughts as we wind down here?
Believe in yourself. Believe. You
Yeah.
just don't know what will be around the corner, but stay strong.
I do. One thing from the fire that touches me and is when people were trying to tell me, a week after the fire, like, no, it could be a silver lining. It's gonna be fine. I was kind of like, fuck you. I just lost like 20 years of like my kids' shit. 20 years of like client stuff, artist stuff. Don't tell me it's gonna get better. But now when we're sitting in this space, I'm
What do you
looking at the
think?
Lee Scratch Perry signed wall that we cut out of Babylon, old Babylon, and brought here. It is.
That was Mike Lynch and Judy Tam Lynch of Babylon Burning. Episode 20, which will be all about Minibar and Divisadero, drops next Tuesday. Until then, be well. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Michelle Kilfeather does original photography for us. Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast is our contributing producer. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 5th season, we have more than 200 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're able to, please rate and review the show. And drop us a line at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay strong, weird, and healthy. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcasts.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.